This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost and some exclusive deals over at btech.com.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It is Basil here with the Motorola Moto E. It's kind of like the Moto G, but the feature set is stripped back, as is the price. Is it a good phone though? Even if it doesn't cost that much, it's still got to be decent to get our seal of approval. Well, this is our full review, so I hope you enjoy and all your questions are answered when you get to the end. Design-wise, nothing can really touch the Moto E. It looks a treat and it also feels brilliant. It's solid. Nano coating just gives you that psychological peace of mind. And as far as physical comfort goes, it just sits beautifully in the hand. It's very, very well shaped. And at the 4.3-inch size is also perfectly manageable, whether it's one-handed in terms of scrolling throughout the UI or two-handed when it comes to typing. As far as design highlights go, you've got a silver strip at the top, which is the in-call speaker, silver strip at the bottom, which is a loudspeaker. On the right hand side, you've got the volume rocker and power button down at the base, micro USB port, left side no buttons whatsoever, while up at the top 3.5mm headphone jack. Flip it around and the camera and a Motorola insignia. You will notice no flash. That is because there is no flash, unfortunately. We can peel off the back cover by just prizing our fingernails under the micro USB port on the base, to reveal a 1980 milliamp battery, which is non-removable, a micro SD card and a micro SIM slot. Closing all that up, it closes very, very securely. And again, like we said, we just can't reiterate enough, feels great in the hand, especially considering the price. The display is also stellar. QHD resolution isn't that jaw-dropping, but at the 4.3 inches this thing comes in at, it has a pixel density of over 250. The quality is also stupendous. IPS screen tech means you have really, really vibrant, bright, punchy colors, not to mention great levels of brightness. Turning it around, normally IPSs have really great viewing angles too. This doesn't have the best. It doesn't lose color integrity, but it does black out a little bit off angle. That said, chances are if you're using your smartphone, you're going to be using it head on, and head on this thing looks, again, better than anything else in the price point. Inside the phone, it's Android, and it isn't just any version of Android, it's Android 4.4.2. What's even better is that Motorola's promised an upgrade to the next major release of Android for the Moto E, which is stupendous for a budget phone. The actual version of Android is really stock as well, in fact pretty much totally stock. Motorola's plumbed two applications on here, Motorola Alert and Motorola Assist, and these are really tastefully implemented, just applications. There's no bloatware of any sort to speak of. If we open Alert, we can see it has three functions: Meet Me, Emergency, and Follow Me. Meet Me will actually send your location when you get to your destination. Emergency will sound an alarm and call an emergency contact or emergency services if you set it to do so. Finally, Follow Me is exactly like Glimpse. You can share your location for a set period of time with friends and family. If we jump out of that, we can also see that Motorola's included Motorola Assist. This is a glorified profile management system, so between your sleeping hours it won't make any sound, and when you're in a meeting you can silence your phone and also send a message automatically to anyone who calls you telling them you're in a meeting. You'll call them back later. All in all, therefore, really nice tasteful additions and a really smooth, seamless user interface experience means Motorola gets a massive thumbs up for this. Multimedia on this thing is a two-part tale. Part 1, the camera is a real letdown. As far as picture quality goes, in good lighting, you can actually pull out some really decent pictures. That lack of flash though, and lack of autofocus, means low light shots and macro shots are out of bounds. Low light shots are more plausible, but you're gonna have to get very, very accustomed to grain very quickly. There are a few nice surprises though. HDR mode on here allows you to pull a little bit of extra detail from high contrast scenarios. You've also got a panorama mode too, to complement that really decent experience when shooting in good lighting. For the most part though, it's a letdown, and that letdown really does extend to video. Recorded at VGA resolution, it's just a disappointment, unfortunately. Again, no flash and no autofocus to help things along when you're close up or in low light. Where the camera falls down though, the rest of the multimedia experience is a very, very different affair. The screen looks great, which is perfect for applications like Netflix, looking at pictures that you haven't taken on this phone, for example, and reading ebooks. If we jump into an ebook right now, you'll be able to make out that the text quality is pretty stupendous. You can really imagine yourself reading a book on this. It's smaller than most flagships, but it's still bigger than an iPhone, don't forget, and significantly wider. So we found the reading experience perfectly comfortable. And again, at £89, no other device in the price category is going to top it. What you also get is a really good audio experience. The speaker at the base front facing may not be a stereo speaker, but it's plenty loud. The fact it's front facing is great when you're holding it. It's hard to cover up when playing games, for example. And we got through a whole episode of a show on Netflix without any issues whatsoever, without even plugging in our headphones. Again, something that we've never really done on a phone of this kind of price. When it comes to performance, the £89 price tag really doesn't suggest you're going to get as smooth a user interface experience as you do. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 is only dual core, by contrast to some quad core devices like the Acer Liquid Z5 that don't run as well as this thing. What you can also expect is decent gaming performance, again better than the quad core Acer Liquid Z5. Rayman Jungle Run, Dumb Ways to Die and other 2D games work a treat. Minecraft 3D games, basic 3D games admittedly, are also absolutely flawless. The phone couldn't install real racing, for example, and games with larger memory, larger loads that they have to save onto the internal memory won't install with the 4 GB inside this thing. It is microSD expandable, so any games that you can save onto your SD card, by contrast, should work pretty well. Speaking of the internal memory, and we might as well talk about connections on this thing. Aside from the obviously 4 gig internal memory and microSD expandability that we spoke about, you've also got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as well as GPS and all your standards. The only things this is really missing are NFC and 4G. If you really need 4G, for example, you can check out the EE Kestrel. Generally though, for the price, it's got everything we would expect a smartphone to have. Finally, battery life is also an area this really does come up trumps. 1980 milliamps will easily last you a full day and then some. In fact, we reckon most users will be able to get a day and a half out of it. If you switch it off at night, probably even 2. So there you have it. It isn't quite the revolution the Moto G was, because it has some gaping areas it just doesn't come up trumps. Namely imaging. That rear-facing camera's lack of a flash and lack of autofocus, and the complete lack of a front-facing camera let it down for anyone concerned about decent imaging chops on your smartphone. Having said that, the build is second to none in the price category. The nano coating will give you perfect peace of mind when using this thing as an MP3 player in your pocket in the gym, for example. The screen is also stupendous. Multimedia is enjoyed very, very comfortably on it, and the size as well just feels great in the hand. Fun back covers just give it that little bit of extra edge, and it has everything else aside from the camera that we'd want from an £89 smartphone. Hopefully you've enjoyed, hopefully you found our full review useful. If you've got any questions about it, ping them in the comments section below. If you like the video, click like and head over to btect.com. Over there you can find the latest in smartphones, tablets, smart gadgets, as well as some awesome deals too.
At the top of the screen is where you can find 3 hand-picked videos for your viewing pleasure. On the left is where you can subscribe, and on the right hand side you can find some exclusive deals if you head over to btect.com.